question. What do you want for yourself or for others in life?
I guess I go first.
Yes, you can go first.
All right. The number one thing I would say I would want for myself and for others is to see others succeed. I started lifecoach2women.com years ago, and the whole reason that I went into coaching is that I wanted to see ordinary women have extraordinary success. I've seen lots of women over the years and ministered to them, been in conference with them. But what would happen is they would say, I have this purpose, I have this dream, but I don't know how to turn it into a paycheck. I don't know how to profit from it. I don't know how to make money from it. And so I made it my dream and my goal to help other women succeed and turn what they are passionate about into profit. So I would say my number one thing is to see them succeed.
Awesome.
And other people succeed.
And it's so funny you say that because that's probably something we all feel like, because I'm sitting here like, yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
But that's absolutely my goal as well. I love to sit in a room full of women that are like-minded, that some look like me, some don't. But we are all, at the end of the day, the same. We bleed the same, we hurt the same, we go through a lot of things the same. But for us to have success the same, that's kind of an unheard of reach. And I love when I see women in the room that actually want to see women do well, that actually want to look back and bring someone with them and want to build each other up. In my perfect world, what I would see myself is, of course, to be successful, but for me, success is nothing if I can't bring someone else along. I would love for us to kind of take the mantra, each one teach one. So, you know, when I got casted for a show, this unpopular show called Hip Hop, I just want to kind of to set the tone up to be a little, ooh, thanks. This makes me want to sing.
Exactly.
But I wanted to kind of put a different energy out there and just be a little different from what the norm was on reality TV. And I felt like I wanted to show that there are some of us that actually work to get in the position we are. Not all of us happen to have a really rich boyfriend or a really great basketball player husband. Some of us actually work and we work hard. And I felt like I wanted to show that, and I felt like I wanted to show some of the women out there that you can live this life. You can have a great car, a great crib, a great family, but you have to sometimes just work for it. So my dream, I'm sorry that I'm a little long-winded all the time, but my dream would be just to learn as much as I can and then teach so that someone else can be sitting next to me and can do the same thing that I just did.
I love that. And off the back of Yandy, she said it so well. Mine is to find your inner warrior. You know, when I went into that doctor's office and the doctor gave me 3 months to live. When the doctor tells you you have 3 months to live, it really rocked my world. Because, you know, I'm like, hold on. I was so stunned at that moment. But then I said, hold on. A doctor can't tell me anything. God tells me. God will tell me if I'm going to live or die. So I had to really step back into myself and say, you know what? I do believe in miracles. And I walked out of that door. And I'm 7 years cancer free. So then I realized is that we have to all find our inner warrior. You know, when I got breast cancer, I was embarrassed, I was afraid, I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to be known as the sick girl. I didn't want people to say, oh God, are you okay? But you know what, now I'm like, step into whatever you've been dealt. Whatever card you've been dealt, live it. Don't be afraid of it, live it. Go out there, embrace it and fight it because you can beat it. It's all in the mind.
Yeah.
You think that you can't beat obesity, having domestic violence, you can get out of any situation you want to. If you believe you're good enough. And we in this room are all good enough to beat any adversities we go through. And so my whole thing is find your inner warrior. Step into yourself and who you really are. Man, I don't care if you had abusive parents, if you came from a bad marriage, if you didn't have the education. You are good enough to be who you are and great. Step into that greatness. Don't be afraid to live the life that you are supposed to live. And that's what I want to do. Teach everybody to find that inner warrior.
All right, so for me, what I'm just most passionate about and what I want for myself and other people is to really live your life on your own terms, to just do you. Don't worry about, what people have to say, about you, and to really get out there and pursue your dreams, because you really only have one life to live. And there's a lot of people that I find, that they kind of just sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else fulfill the dreams that they have for themselves. So one of my biggest things is really encouraging people to take that leap, believe in yourself, have faith, and just, like Joyce Meyer says, do it afraid. I was afraid when I left Wall Street and a high-paying job to do what I did, but when God came knocking on that door, I was out. So you have to, and He'll let you know. So you have to pay attention, and when He calls on you, you respond and answer. Because what you don't want to happen is that when you come to the end of your life and you're like, oh, tag, I wish I did that. And when you meet God, you see your box of blessings on the floor collecting dust, and you should have picked it up when you had the chance. So that's just my main goal, to really encourage people to just do them and to live a life worth living.
Hey, sister girls. As I listen to everybody on here, we're all on one accord with talking about knowing about who we are. And the main thing that I catch up on is that spirituality that we need to have, right? So my main purpose is to help women live their lives transformed and repurposed. We have to go ahead and start transforming our thinking and stop letting all these things that said no to us keep us back from where we want to be. We can repurpose our dreams and go ahead and do what we want to do. Yes, you may have been laid off. No, you may not have this going on like this other person, but you can still live your life transformed and repurposed as long as you keep that spiritual balance. So I'm just here to try and help women achieve their goals through spirituality and renewing your mind. You gotta stop thinking that old way of thought, because what did your old thoughts get you? That same old drama, right, girl? So right now we want to transform that and repurpose it and start all over and conquer all new things. Y'all with me?
Awesome. Let's keep going. What is truly most important to you?
I would say the most important thing to me would be my family, number one, and then it would be reaching out and helping others. I on purpose decided to raise my children toward their bent. I believe that every one of your kids has a bent in life. They have something they're supposed to do. And so since my kids were 3 years old, I made it my purpose to make sure if I'm going to educate everybody else and be life coach to women and help the whole world, I don't want to help the whole world and can't help my home. And so I on purpose raised my kids a certain way toward their bent, finding out what it was, what they love to do and that kind of thing. And so I'm proud to have a 17-year-old and a 24-year-old. And I'm just proud of what they're doing and what they have accomplished, and I think it's because I put a lot into them. The second thing I would say is that is empowering women. I believe that all of you are in here today by divine assignment. You didn't just show up here, you're here because you're supposed to be. And I believe you're appointed to be here. I believe in that God has us where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be there. And I believe that when you are in your divine assignment and you're at the divine timing, then that's when things shift and things happen for you. We were all created to create. And so I just love seeing women show up to things like this, show up to events like this, and ready to succeed, ready to be empowered, and ready to move forward. And I always say this too. I was telling my assistant Audrey how I like the atmosphere here. But when we come to events like this, I always tell people, don't act funny with the person sitting next to you. So you turn to your neighbor right now and say, neighbor, don't act funny with me.
also important to me, and that's finding a balance. People come up to me all the time and say, how do you do with these kids, the man, the jobs, the owning businesses? And it's so important for me to prioritize. It's so important for me to find the time to be great at the things that I'm most passionate about. I can't be the best at everything, and I've accepted that. But I have learned how within my power, within my will, with God's will, I can be great at the things that I'm most passionate about. So finding that balance has been very, very important for me in my life. Finding my balance with my family. You know, I cannot do everything. I would love to just be a full-time mom and stay at home with the kids all day. But I can't do that because I have to pay bills. You know, I have to find time to take care of my man. I have to find time to run 3 companies. I have to find time to do my job as well as manage and shoot a show. And finding that balance means sometimes you can't follow 1 million people on Instagram and scroll up and down Instagram all day. Sometimes it means cutting that conversation with your girlfriend a little short, because I gotta go wash the dishes, so I don't have my man in my ear. Okay. I gotta make dinner so these kids not hungry and crying, and then I gotta put them to bed at a decent time. And then maybe I can focus on, you know, cleaning up some stuff from work, finding out what this client did and make sure their day is gonna run smooth tomorrow. And then at the end of the day, I can take a breather. And those breathers are so important. Women, we can't get so busy that we take care of everything and everyone else, that we don't take care of ourselves. So you have to, just as important as your family is, because your family is so important, just as important as work may be, as important as your boss may be, you have to take care of yourself and find that balance so that you can be who you need to be. Because I do believe you can be Susie the homemaker and Oprah at the same time and be great at both. But you just have to find the balance and not try to do too much on the work side, and not try to be everything you can be. If you have help or you have support at home, use it. Ask for it. It's important. I'm not against it. But it is important to find a balance that works for you and not try to be everything for everyone. And that's what's kind of been important to help me be who I am.
Awesome, awesome.
Now, what's important to me first is God.
Yes.
First, my spiritual base is everything. You know, when you put God first in your life, anything and everything is possible. And that's what I realized, that God first will make anything and everything possible. Then I go with my family, because they have your back. My business partner, who has my back too. And then I go with people who are really by my side. You know what? You have to gather yourself around positive people. I'm sorry, if your girlfriend is putting you down all the time, talking about you behind your back, and you're letting that go, you have a problem. You got a problem if you have your man putting you down, or your friend, or anybody, your family members. Let them go. Walk away. I'm tired of people. It's like ethnics, African Americans think that we don't deserve it all. We deserve it all and more. Like somebody said, Bershan, how do you think, you know what, you had a good husband, living soul, you got this, because I deserve it. I live a fabulous life because I deserve it. And see, the moment you think you don't deserve it, you won't get that good man. You settle. The moment you don't think you deserve it, you won't get the bad job. And you'll be saying, oh, she's getting promoted. Why is she always getting the job better than me? Because she thinks she deserves it. Know your worth. Exactly. If you don't know your worth, you'll never be there. And then my last one is, you have to live in your truth. You gotta live in your truth. Here's people, we like to lie. Girl, we lie. Y'all know we lie. We lie. Because we're always trying to keep up with the Joneses. We're always trying to act like we have this, act like it's more than it is. Why? Who are you proving it to? No one. Just know. Right? You know what? You're trying to, I'm telling you, the moment you really step into your truth of who you are, I don't care if you're 200 pounds, 90 pounds, long hair, short hair, pimples, who cares? You're a beautiful woman. Love who you are. You gotta step into that truth to be who you are, to live a fulfilling life. You know what, the moment, so I've learned this, like, I had cancer, I was so afraid, I was so ashamed. And then I said, you know what, I have to take off all these little lies, and I said, you know what, this is who I am. My family may not be the best. We may have a little issues. You know what? I may be a little overweight right now, but I love who I am. I'm embracing who I am. Cancer, no evidence of disease, beautiful black woman, God-serving, God-loving, Bershan Shaw.
But anyway, God is first for me. Most importantly, I couldn't do anything that I'm currently doing without God and the strength that He's given me to do what I'm currently doing. And secondly, is really perfecting my craft and working on myself. One thing that I noticed when I started my business is that I really needed a lot of self-development work. So I put in that work. I even, one of my coaches was Nicole Roberts-Jones, who you guys heard from earlier today. And one of the things that I noticed is that I was being blocked because there were things that I was harnessing inside that I just would not release. And if I wasn't releasing, then I wasn't being authentic, with my tribe and letting people really see the real me. And, also another means of why I did the Art of Activation, so you guys hear more about my story there. But I really think that self-development is really crucial to everything, because you can know, oh, I need to work on this and leave it at that. But I mean, are you really going to have your breakthrough, if you don't do the work, So right now, that's really something that I'm committed to, and that's very important for me. And it's also helping me to work on my relationships with my family as well. So it's really working on myself so that I can show you guys my best self and give you guys my all.
Kind of piggybacking on what Bershan said, my whole thing is, well, first and foremost, of course, God first, family second, career third. But no, knowing your truth and being authentic to who you are. We can't stress that enough, especially as you start to climb up the ladder in your career or whatever it is you desire to do. You're gonna start looking over somebody else, and that comparison conundrum gets us all the time, right? You start veering over in their lane, and you're getting off on an exit when God wants you to stay on the highway. So you're all the way over here trying to get off on exit number 24. You're supposed to be going down to exit number 30 because that's where God wants you to be, but you're following this chick over here. That's not even where you're supposed to be. So if we're authentic and we know who we are, if we're true, if, like she said, we know that yes, we got the cellulite, yes, we got the wrinkles, we got this. No, I don't have everything that this person has, but I love who I am, and I'm going to embrace that. And that takes work, people. Does not happen overnight. You might say that, yeah, I'm gonna love, but you have to work at that for real. Because there are times when we get up and I can't stand the way this looks. I can't stand that. And you keep repeating all that stuff to yourself. You're not being authentic and being true to who you could be and who you are right now. So go ahead and embrace that. And that's the thing that I work on, especially being in the entertainment industry. You see all these different people coming through, different people making music, different people on television, and you kind of get like, well, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should get a show like Yandy. Maybe I should be on Bershan's thing. Maybe I should do this. No, you have to do what Deja is supposed to be doing. You have to be where God wants you to be. So be authentic to you, as they like to say, well, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. And be authentic to you.
I know you guys are having a good time. You believe we have 2 more minutes.
Are you serious?
2 more minutes.
Talk that long?
Just give us something, 30 seconds of something that you want to impart in the ladies here sitting today. 30 seconds, sorry.
Go ahead, Yandy, go first. I got
go first.
What's the question? Say it one more time.
Okay, what is something that you want to leave with the ladies today? 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm sorry. 30 seconds. I can't do 30 seconds.
I know.
Y'all gonna spend 30 seconds.
I would say to you, I would leave with you to be your authentic self. I think that on your way up the ladder to success, you got to learn to detox. There's toxic relationships that we have in our life, and a lot of times what's holding you back from the next level, what you want to do, where you want to go, is relationships. So you need to detox people who tolerate you but don't celebrate you. And the next thing is, we all have a spiritual base here. You heard us all talk about God. Most of you probably already know I'm a pastor's wife. So, of course, God comes first Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, twice, and Wednesday 3 times. But keep God in your spiritual base. I think in the day we live in now, that there's a lot of spirituality out there, but I think we don't use our spirituality to build our personal life. And I would say to return back to God and listening to your intuition, your gut, to know what to do next. God is always directing you. He wants to tell you what step to take next. He knows He has your purpose in His hand. There's something big that's on the horizon for each and every one of you. So trust God, trust your gut. Take 15 minutes every single morning, pray and meditate and ask God, what do I need to do next, and order my steps, Lord.
Well, I just want everyone to know that they are great at who they are. You know what? My whole thing is don't suffer in silence. That's what this is about. You Are a Warrior. The book out there, everybody get one. But my social networking site, youarewarrior.com. We as people, stop suffering in silence. Be the great person that you're supposed to be. Don't be afraid to do what you're called to do. If you want to be that executive, be it. If you want to own that hair care line, don't be afraid to step out there and do it. Don't let anyone tell you no, you can't, not good enough, not smart enough, don't come from the right family, too black, too light, whatever. We are God's children and we deserve the best. We really do deserve the best. So the one thing I want to say is step into your inner warrior, your true self, and be the great person that you deserve to be. Because God is good and you are too, and you can become anything you want to be.
All right, ladies, I'm sorry to say that this is our end. If you want to know, get more about these ladies, connect with them on the outside so that we can stay motivated and successful. So I hope you guys got something from the session.